If your creatinine levels have been slowly rising, if your doctor has brought up the word stage 3 or stage 4 chronic kidney disease, or if you're getting up 2, 3, or even 4 times every single night to go to the bathroom, I need you to pause whatever you're doing right now and watch this entire video from beginning to end, because what I'm about to reveal to you has the real potential to shift the entire course of your kidney health, and I don't make that statement lightly. My name is Dr. Mandell. I'm a board-certified nephrologist, a kidney specialist, with more than 25 years of hands-on clinical experience. Over those decades, I've sat face to face with thousands of patients over the age of 60 who were genuinely frightened when they saw their lab results. And after all those conversations, I can tell you the single most overlooked factor that almost no one discusses. Not your primary care doctor, not the brochures and handouts at the clinic. None of them talk about how powerfully the food choices you make every single day affect your kidneys at the deepest cellular level. Not just the foods themselves, but the way you eat them and the timing behind each bite. Now, before we go any further, I need to make one thing absolutely crystal clear. I am not here to promise you that these 5 snacks will somehow cure your kidney disease. That would be not only irresponsible but also dishonest. What I am going to show you, backed by real research from trusted institutions like the Mayo Clinic, the National Kidney Foundation, and multiple peer-reviewed nephrology journals, is that certain specific foods, when chosen with care and prepared the right way, can genuinely support your kidney's natural ability to filter your blood, help you manage your creatinine levels, reduce harmful inflammation, and ease some of the most difficult day-to-day symptoms that people living with CKD, diabetes, and high blood pressure face all the time. And here's what truly sets this video apart from anything else you'll find on YouTube about this subject. I am willing to bet that at least half of what I'm about to tell you, you have never heard before. Not from your family doctor, not from another YouTube video, not from any website. We are going deep today, so please stay with me. By the time we finish, you will know exactly which 5 snacks you should reach for, precisely how to prepare them so they work for your kidneys instead of against them, and the specific mistakes millions of older adults are making right now, mistakes that are quietly damaging their kidneys without them even realizing it. Let's begin with something that might genuinely surprise you about how creatinine actually functions inside your body, because most people have this completely backward. You see, creatinine is a waste product. It gets produced when your muscles break down a substance called creatine, which your body uses for energy. Your healthy kidneys then filter that creatinine out of your bloodstream and send it out through your urine. Now, when your kidneys are struggling, whether that's because of CKD, damage related to diabetes, or high blood pressure that has gone uncontrolled for many years, that filtering process slows down. Creatinine starts building up in your blood, and that's exactly when your lab report begins showing numbers above 1.2, 1.5, 2.0, or even higher. But here's what the vast majority of people do not realize. You actually have the ability to influence both how much creatinine your body produces and how efficiently your kidneys filter it through very specific dietary choices. And that is precisely what these 5 snacks are designed to do. Each one works through a different biological mechanism. So let's jump right into it. Snack number 1, red grapes. The very first snack on our list is one I personally recommend to nearly every CKD patient I treat, and yet when I ask my patients whether they eat them, most of them say no. Red grapes. Now I can already hear what you might be thinking. Doctor, aren't grapes too high in sugar? I have diabetes. That is one of the most frequent concerns I hear, and I want to address it directly and honestly, because the answer is far more nuanced than you might expect. But first, let me explain exactly why red grapes earned a spot on this list, and then we'll talk about portion sizes. Red grapes contain a powerful compound called resveratrol. You've probably heard of resveratrol in the context of red wine, but here's what the wine commercials never tell you. The resveratrol found in whole red grapes is actually far more bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and uses it much more effectively when it comes from the actual fruit instead of from alcohol. And as you probably already know, alcohol is something your kidneys definitely do not need more of. Here's the science, explained in plain English. Resveratrol has been shown in multiple studies, including research published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, to reduce oxidative stress within kidney tissue. Oxidative stress is essentially what happens when free radicals, which are unstable molecules, damage the cells of your kidneys. In CKD patients, this oxidative damage happens at an accelerated rate, and what resveratrol does is act like a cellular shield. It's a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound, and it actually helps protect the filtering units inside your kidneys, called nephrons, from developing further scarring. But here's the part that most YouTube videos completely skip over. Red grapes are also naturally low in potassium compared to many other fruits. Now, for those of you who are in stage 3 or stage 4 CKD, managing your potassium intake is absolutely critical. When your kidneys are damaged, they have a hard time getting rid of excess potassium, and dangerously high potassium levels can lead to life-threatening heart rhythm problems. According to the National Kidney Foundation's official dietary guidelines, red grapes are one of the most kidney-friendly fruit choices available because a standard half-cup serving contains only about 88 milligrams of potassium. Compare that to a banana, which has more than 400 milligrams in just one piece of fruit, and you can immediately see why this difference matters so much. Now, what about the blood sugar concern? This is very important. A half cup of red grapes, roughly 15 to 20 individual grapes, contains about 14 grams of carbohydrates. If you're managing type 2 diabetes alongside your CKD, which is extremely common, you absolutely can include red grapes in your eating plan, but timing and pairing are everything. Here's a tip I give to my own patients that almost nobody else teaches. Pair your grapes with a small amount of protein, like a few small cubes of low-sodium cheese or half an ounce of unsalted walnuts. The protein slows down the absorption of the natural sugars, which significantly blunts the blood sugar spike you might otherwise get. There's one more thing about red grapes that I find genuinely fascinating, and I want you to hear this. The skins of red grapes contain flavonoids, specifically quercetin and anthocyanins. These compounds have been shown in animal studies and early human trials to reduce proteinuria, which is the medical term for protein in your urine. Now, if you have been told that your urine contains protein, or if you've noticed your urine looking foamy or bubbly, that is a clear sign that your kidneys are leaking protein they should be keeping inside. It means the filter barrier inside your kidneys has become compromised. While we cannot claim that grapes alone will reverse this problem, the anti-inflammatory effect they have on the kidney's filtration membrane is a legitimate area of active scientific research. How should you eat them correctly? Eat red grapes fresh, not as juice, and definitely not as raisins. Juice removes all the fiber and concentrates the sugar, and raisins are extremely high in potassium, about 750 milligrams per quarter cup. Stick to fresh, whole red grapes. Wash them thoroughly, store them in your refrigerator, and limit yourself to that half-cup serving, ideally in the mid-morning or mid-afternoon when you're not eating on an empty stomach. One mistake I see constantly is people switching to green grapes, thinking they're the same. They are not, at least not from a resveratrol standpoint. Red and purple grapes have dramatically higher levels of those beneficial polyphenols compared to green grapes. The color is the key. Snack number 2, egg whites. All right, I want to ask you something. Has your doctor ever told you to limit your protein intake because of your kidneys? If so, raise your hand. Or even better, leave a comment below because I genuinely want to hear from you. The answer to that recommendation is yes, but it's complicated. And getting this wrong could either be damaging your kidneys further or leaving you dangerously undernourished. Let me explain. The second snack, and I use the word snack loosely here because egg whites are incredibly versatile, is cooked egg whites. And here's why they are absolutely extraordinary for people over 60 who are living with CKD. When your kidneys are damaged, they have difficulty processing the waste products that come from protein metabolism. One of those waste products is urea, an elevated urea nitrogen level, which you'll see on your lab report as BUN, blood urea nitrogen, is a sign that your kidneys are being overworked by the protein you're eating. This is why the old, outdated recommendation was to drastically cut back on all sources of protein. But here's what that approach got wrong. Adults over 60 are already at significant risk for sarcopenia. That's the medical term for age-related muscle loss. And when you lose muscle mass, you actually end up producing more creatinine relative to your kidney function, not less. You also become weaker, more prone to falls, and your immune system suffers. The consequences are serious, so we cannot simply slash every source of protein. We have to be strategic about the type of protein we eat. Enter egg whites. According to research published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition and confirmed by the dietary guidelines from the National Kidney Foundation, egg whites have the highest biological value of any protein food. In plain language, that means your body is able to use a higher percentage of the protein found in egg whites, leaving behind less metabolic waste. Less waste means less strain on your kidneys and a lower BUN level. And for people whose creatinine is already elevated, reducing BUN at the same time is very important for managing symptoms. Egg whites are also virtually free of phosphorus in the white portion. This is crucial. People with stage 3 and stage 4 CKD often have to restrict phosphorus because their damaged kidneys cannot excrete it efficiently. That leads to phosphorus buildup, which weakens bones and damages blood vessels. The yolk of the egg contains the vast majority of the phosphorus. The egg white contains almost none. So you get high-quality, kidney-friendly protein without the phosphorus burden. Now I want to address nocturia, those frequent nighttime bathroom trips that keep disrupting your sleep. This is something most kidney health videos never connect to protein intake, but I will. When you eat high phosphorus, high protein foods in the evening, especially animal proteins like red meat, your kidneys are forced to work overtime at night, processing that metabolic load. That extra work contributes to increased urine production overnight. By shifting to a light, egg white-based snack in the early evening instead of a heavy protein source, you may be able to reduce the burden on your kidneys during the overnight hours. Many of my patients report better sleep quality after making this switch. It's not a guaranteed fix, but the physiological reasoning is solid. Here's how to prepare egg whites as a snack. Scramble 2 egg whites with a tiny amount of olive oil, no added salt. You can add fresh herbs like chives, parsley, or dill for flavor. You can also make a small egg white mug scramble in the microwave in just about 2 minutes. Another option is to hard-boil whole eggs, then simply remove and discard the yolks, eating only the whites. If you use carton egg whites, check the label very carefully. Some brands add sodium as a preservative. Look for products with less than 100 milligrams of sodium per serving, or better yet, crack fresh eggs. The biggest mistake people make with egg whites is eating just one here and there and thinking it's enough. For someone managing CKD with sarcopenia risk, you want roughly 10 to 15 grams of protein at each eating occasion. That's about 3 to 4 egg whites. Work with your dietitian or nephrologist to determine what's right for your specific GFR level, because in very advanced CKD, stage 4 moving toward stage 5, protein needs to be managed even more carefully. Before we continue to snacks 3, 4, and 5, and snack 5 is the one that genuinely surprises most people, including some of my own colleagues. I want to pause for just a moment. If the information I've shared so far has been helpful to you, I need your help. We are working hard to build this channel to 100,000 subscribers so we can reach more seniors across America who are navigating kidney disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure without access to the right information. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button right now. And if you found value in what we're covering today, please smash that like button. That tells YouTube to show this video to more people who truly need it. Here's what I really want from you, though. Drop a comment below. Tell me your age, your location, your most recent creatinine level or GFR, and which symptom is bothering you the most. Is it the nighttime bathroom trips, the fatigue, the swelling in your legs, the foamy urine? I read these comments personally, and your responses help me create exactly the videos you need next. You are not alone in this, and this community is here to support each other. Now let's get back to the snacks. We still have 3 more to cover, and the next one involves a food that most doctors tell kidney patients to avoid, but there's a specific preparation method that changes everything. Stay with me. Snack number 3, leached potatoes. I told you this one would surprise you. Potatoes. Yes, potatoes. The food that almost every kidney diet handout in America tells you to avoid. But here's what those handouts don't tell you. How you prepare a potato changes its potassium content dramatically, and this preparation method is so underutilized that it borders on criminal, because millions of people are unnecessarily depriving themselves of a nutritious, filling, and affordable food. The technique is called leaching, and it was formally recognized and studied by researchers like Mackenzie and colleagues, and has been referenced in dietary guidelines from the National Kidney Foundation for decades. Yet almost nobody outside of specialized renal dietitians knows about it. Here's how it works. Potassium in vegetables is water-soluble, meaning it dissolves into water. When you take a potato, peel it, slice it thin, about 1/8 of an inch thick, and then soak those slices in a large pot of warm water for at least 4 hours. Changing the water halfway through, you can reduce the potassium content by 30 to 50%. Then you drain the potatoes completely, rinse them thoroughly, and cook them in fresh, unsalted water. This process pulls a significant portion of the potassium out of the potato tissue and into the water, which you then discard. Now, can you get the potassium down to 0? No. A leached potato still contains some potassium. This is not a free pass to eat unlimited potatoes, but it transforms a high potassium food into a moderate potassium option that many stage 3 CKD patients can incorporate into a kidney-friendly diet under their nephrologist's guidance. Why does this matter as a snack choice? Because potatoes, particularly when prepared simply, are naturally low in phosphorus and sodium. They provide a gentle source of carbohydrate energy, and critically for seniors, they are easy to chew, easy to digest, and satisfying in a way that rice cakes and celery sticks simply are not. Quality of life on a kidney diet matters. When people feel deprived, they abandon their diet plans entirely, and that is far more damaging to their kidneys than a carefully prepared potato. Here's a practical snack preparation I give my patients. Take 2 small potatoes, peel them, slice them into thin rounds, soak them as I just described, then boil them in fresh water without salt. Once cooked, you can mash them lightly with a small drizzle of olive oil and fresh herbs. Rosemary and thyme work wonderfully, along with a tiny squeeze of lemon juice for flavor. You can make a batch ahead of time and refrigerate them for up to 3 days. Portion out about half a cup as your snack. One critical mistake: do not microwave potatoes thinking it's the same as boiling. It is not. Microwaving does not leach potassium. The potassium stays locked inside the potato tissue when you microwave. You must do the soaking and boiling process for this to work. Also, and this is something I want to emphasize, don't be fooled by sweet potato health claims. Sweet potatoes are extraordinarily high in potassium. One medium sweet potato contains over 500 milligrams. Unless leached using the exact same method, they are not a safer choice than white potatoes for CKD patients, despite what many general nutrition sources say. The kidney diet is different from a general health diet, and mixing the two causes real harm. Snack number 4, cauliflower. Our fourth snack is something I recommend without hesitation to virtually every kidney patient, regardless of their stage of CKD, and that is cauliflower, raw, roasted, or steamed. This is one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables in existence, and the reasons why go much deeper than most people realize. First, the basics. Cauliflower is naturally low in potassium, about 150 milligrams per half cup, which is excellent for CKD management. It is low in phosphorus, low in sodium, and high in vitamin C and folate, both of which are very important because CKD patients frequently become depleted in water-soluble vitamins, especially if they are on dialysis or following very restrictive diets. According to the National Kidney Foundation's dietary recommendations, cauliflower is one of the vegetables explicitly listed as generally safe for CKD patients. But here's where I want to go deeper, because this is the part you will not hear anywhere else. Cauliflower belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family, which also includes broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. These vegetables contain a compound called indole-3-carbinol, which your body metabolizes into a substance called 3,3'-diindolylmethane. We call it DIM in the research world. DIM has been shown in preliminary studies to have protective effects on kidney tissue through its influence on inflammatory pathways. Specifically, the NF-kappa B pathway, which is a master regulator of inflammation in your body. In CKD, chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary drivers of disease progression. It is one reason why creatinine keeps climbing even when patients feel relatively well. Now, I want to be careful here and not overstate this. The research on DIM in kidney disease specifically is still in early stages. I am not telling you that eating cauliflower will directly lower your creatinine. What I am saying is that reducing systemic inflammation, and cauliflower contributes to that, is one of the foundational strategies for slowing CKD progression, according to guidelines from both the American Society of Nephrology and the National Kidney Foundation. There is another element here that connects to nocturia and overnight kidney function. Cauliflower is high in choline, an often overlooked nutrient. Choline supports healthy cell membrane structure, including in the kidney tubule cells. Those are the cells responsible for reabsorbing water and electrolytes while your urine is being concentrated. When tubule cell function becomes compromised, the kidney produces more dilute urine and more of it, contributing to frequent urination, including at night. While the evidence directly linking dietary choline to reduced nocturia in CKD is not yet definitive, the mechanistic pathway is biologically plausible and worth considering. How should you enjoy cauliflower as a snack? My personal favorite recommendation for patients is what I call the kidney rice method. Take raw cauliflower florets and pulse them briefly in a food processor until they reach a rice-like consistency. Then microwave for 2 to 3 minutes with no water added. You can season it with fresh herbs, parsley, cilantro, dill, a squeeze of lemon, and a small amount of olive oil. It is warm, filling, and genuinely satisfying as a between-meal snack. You can also roast cauliflower florets in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit with a light drizzle of olive oil and garlic powder until they turn golden and crispy at the edges. This brings out a natural nuttiness that even people who don't usually love vegetables tend to enjoy. The mistake I see most often with cauliflower is people buying the frozen bags that come with a cheese sauce. Please read the label.